All right, Salakia. Yeah, I had to make sure I was still screen recording. Salakia. So yeah, man, that's what's going on. So and also even with that, I believe because it was a like I said, watching I think either the Midas Touch or the other fella. It was another talk dealing with man, America losing, and Lord will I do a video on that too, just a quick little video. America losing its nuclear capability, so they have to put more money into building more silos and building more of a defense system. Basically going into their whole enterprise and military might is weakening. All right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. All right. And according to Joel chapter 3, Joel 3, let the weak say I am strong. That's the other nations preparing for war. Matter of fact, let's get that. Because that's ultimately what it's boiled down to. Joel 3 and in a 3 and 9 NLT. Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spear. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. All right, let the weak say, I am strong. And the Lord is building all that up. All right, according to Isaiah 13 and 4. All right, and Isaiah 9 and 5 of this new war is going to be burned with fuels of fire. Isaiah 9 and 5, the boots of the warrior and the uniforms blood-stained by war will all be burned. They will be fuel for the fire. Nah, I ain't like that translation. KJV, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this, all right, this battle shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. All right. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's the new type of war that's about to happen. All right. Nuclear technology. All right. Drones, fire jets. All right. Heavy machinery. Okay. Heavy artillery, the whole nine. All right. 50 cal size bullet. And look, that's how you know through the spirit and power. How about Shem Yahweh Shah? We're going to need that power because Esau got 50 cows that can damn near go through a whole house. Explode a whole house, man. Dealing with that, you know? And Esau got some shit. This is Luke 21 and 11 in the NLT. There will be great earthquakes and there will be famines and plagues in many lands. And there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from the heaven. Miraculous, Salakia. Miraculous signs from heaven. But before all this occurs, there will be a time of great persecution. You will be dragged into synagogues and prisons, and you will stand trial before kings and governors because you are my followers for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. This is red letter. So this is just a warning. If you're going to follow the Lord, know what you're involved in. All right. And that's ultimately, you know, we should know at this point what we're involved in, though it may seem, you know, a little nerve wracking, but at the same time, You have to have that trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, and the reward is going to be great, even if you have to be faced with death. All right. And ultimately, it takes faith to know that. All right. That's some words that, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah was written in the book. And if you follow certain attributes and characteristics and you be faced with death and you accept death, the Lord is going to reward you even greater. All right. And a precept I'm thinking about is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 4:28. Also Revelation 2:10, Revelation 3:10. All right. Be cast into prisons 10 days. The hour of temptation, which is the MOTB. All right. Being in that credit that social system. All right. Which we call it the B system. Dealing with that MARK. Verse 13, but this will be your opportunity to tell them about me. So don't worry in advance about how to answer the charges against you, for I will give you the right words and such wisdom that none of your opponents will be able to reply or refute you. Even those closest to you, your parents, brothers, relatives, your friends will betray you. They will even kill some of you. And everyone will hate you because you are my followers. All right. We got to keep that in mind. And some of us may have to, taste of death. It's just that, that's simple. I know it's easier said than done, but hey, it's part of the Lord's work. So this was December 21st. Says, I type in nuclear destruction in Bible. It says the Bible does not mention nuclear weapons by name, but many readers believe it describes destruction that closely resembles nuclear warfare using ancient prophetic language. Below is a clear script-based breakdown, fire melting and instant distillation. 2 Peter 3:10. The elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth and all the works that are therein shall be burned up. Elements on Greek. Search web. Matter of fact, I know what I can do. Salah. Elements. Go to the regular Bible.
Strong's G 4747 Stoichion.
Stoichion. If I'm saying it right, Salakia, I'm probably not saying it right. These are the words, the definitions of them, the rudiments, fundamental principles of many art, science, or discipline, elements of man, life, and destiny were supposed to reside. The heavenly bodies, but yeah, the elements of man and life. So everyday life, man, woman, child, the buildings, all right, the cars, all that's going to be destroyed with this intense heat coming from the destruction. It says fervent heat suggests extreme unnatural heat fits the effects of nuclear detonation and fallout. City destroyed in one moment. Revelation 18 verses 8 through 10. In 1 hour thy judgment come, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. Sudden destruction, massive fire, worldwide reaction. All right. Because they're going to be looking afar off. Alas, that great city is thrown down. And they're going to be sad. And the only reason because of the money and the benefits, that they receive dealing with Babylon the Great. All right. Flesh consumed while standing, Zechariah 14:12. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes. It says graphic description matches radiation and thermal blast effects, one of the strongest nuclear parallel passage. All right. And the best imagery we can give you is in the movie Terminator 2 with Sarah Connor. All right, hanging on to that fence. It says the Bible presents this destruction as divine judgment, not random war. So it's divine judgment. It was set up by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to bring the nations together, fight amongst each other, and then even later on during that process, they're going to fight against the Lord. All right, second Ezra, the 13th chapter, and the Lord is going to pulverize them. It said followed by Hamashiach's return and restoration, occurring in the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I was going into something dealing with wisdom of Solomon. So yeah, man. This is what's coming. Ultimately, nuclear destruction upon the whole entire, upon Babylon the Great, Salakia. And, Taco Trump, he got orders, man. He's getting orders from his handlers, his bosses, and they're telling him to do all these things. That's why things is never going to get back to normal. 2 Ezra 16:3. A sword is set upon you, and who can turn it back? A fire is set among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. All right, and ultimately no, because it's like I said, it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is his determination of what's going on the planet Earth. Whether people want to accept it or not, this is the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that he's about to bring upon Babylon the Great America for what they have done to his people. All right. This is ultimately for, the reparations of Israel. You people, wanted reparations, but you wanted reparations by the way of, money, land, in your captivity. You still, at the end of the day, our people, no matter how bad America does them, no matter how bad they get treated over here in this country, whatever, they still love it here. Even to the point, in most cases, when people move from this country, they say how beautiful it is. They say this and say that, but for some reason they still mesmerized and still want to feel like being in America. And that's why all these countries build up their fashion and their infrastructure like America, dealing with their democracies. All right, promoting, the main setup of on how America operates. Okay. It's a lot. This is Second Ezra 16:3 in the GNT. I am sending war on you and no one can stop it. Come on, man. I am sending fire on you and no one can put it out. I am sending disasters on you and no one can stop them from coming. Can anyone stop a hungry lion in the forest, or put out a fire that is burning in straw, or turn back an arrow shot by a strong archer? When the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power sends disaster, no one can hold it back. No one can escape the blazing anger of the Lord. All right, nobody. When he sends lightning, no one can keep from trembling. And when it thunders, everyone is afraid. When the Lord makes his threat, no one can keep from falling to the ground in his presence. The foundation of the earth tremble. There is a violent churning in the deepest part of the sea. Even the creatures in the sea are in turmoil when the Lord makes his glorious, powerful power felt. Come on, man. And the Lord's gonna do a lot of damage with those nuclear missiles, man. All right. The scriptures say that the earth is gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard in Isaiah 24 and 22. Salakia. Is it 22? 20. It says Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth staggers like a drunk. It trembles like a tent in a storm. It falls and will not rise again. For the guilt of his rebellion is very heavy. In that day, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will punish the gods in the heavens and the proud rulers of the nations of the earth. All right. And these proud rulers starting off with Esau, Edom. All right. And then he's going to put the rest of the heathen nations under subjection because they still have in their mind that they're better than the Lord's chosen people. All right. Thinking that their God is better than the God of Israel. And the Lord is going to throw down these idols, man. All right. In the heavens and this heavens being, from the sky on down. OK, going to melt this place with fervent heat. And the proud rulers of the nations of the earth. Verse 20 in the KJV, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Esau is going to fall and not rise again, man. These evil, proud rulers on the earth, because righteousness is going to be inhabited once, this place be thrown down by the way of nuclear destruction, and also the land of Israel. Salakia, see, it got to be refreshed. It got to be rebuilt. And for the listeners and believers, you should know what we're talking about, being refreshed and rebuilt, man. All right. And I'm watching these proud, man. Talking about air, man. This shit is a joke. Isaiah 14 and 4. You will taunt the king of Babylon. You will say the mighty man has been destroyed. Yes, your insolence is ended. And I think I went into it. Look up. Rude or impolite, having or showing a lack. Lack of respect for other people. Basically, your pride. Your pride, man. Says verse 5 NLT, for the Lord Yahweh has crushed your wicked power and broken your evil rule. All right. And we're slowly seeing that now. All right. That's why they're becoming the new term, the paper tiger. All right. They seem to be real strong, seem to be real mighty in power. They flex real hard. They huff and puff. and blow till they can't blow no more. But once they're done with their flexing and their boasting, you really see them as being so weak. And just like one of the I think brothers had pointed out, like, them losing this so-called war, and they're losing it to local like citizens that's armed up with militarized grade weapons and so on and so forth. Basically farmers attacking Babylon the Great forces. Okay, and that alone shows them how weak that they are. Because just imagine when the big bad bear get his ass up from off the throne, off his throne. All right, and I'm talking about the Mede, the Medes or whatever dealing Gog and Magog. All right, the Medes I'm talking about dealing with Russia is in Isaiah the 13th chapter verse 17. All right, but Gog and Magog, Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right, that's all we need right there. All right, Ezekiel the 38th chapter, to let it be known once they get into play, they get into action, all the rest is really going to follow suit. So it's only going to intensify, only going to get worse. All right, nuclear detonation and fallout and destruction is biblical. All right, and us being the prophets, we understand that, and the Lord open up our spiritual eyes to see what's going on and to understand prophecy. So with that, I'm going to close out, Salakia, for the ranting. But I'm going to close out by giving all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us this truth. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect, scattered around the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon the Great. Once again, Kahalayim La, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. All right, Shalom.